Hey guys, happy Friday. We are here, week 7 of 8, East Yard Engine. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the 3/4 HYROX. And by tomorrow, I mean Sunday, but I'm going to have it all set up, ready to go for everyone Sunday morning. So, if you take a look here, I got a lot to go over. If you have the time to listen to me talk the entire time, great. If not, I'm going to have this uploaded to YouTube. You can hit 2 times speed or 1.5 and you'll be done in half the time. So either way, there's a lot to cover, and I just wanted to make sure that not rushing it just for the sake of rushing it. So for Sunday, we have heats 1 through 7 right there. Essentially, I might have 1 or possibly 2 people per heat. So I'm not going to designate those for people or times. It's going to essentially be first come, first serve. So I'm going to open the door probably about, 7 o'clock. If you're there at 7, you can put your name up for 7:20. If you're there last and there's 1 spot left, it's 7:50. So be it. So those are the heats. As far as the sign up, I'll have it on the board. You can go ahead and put your name next to it, and there you go. Mandatory warm-up. You can see it there. I just want you to get your legs moving. I want you to, on the sled, push and pull. We're going to have about... for the first couple heats, you can kind of load it up as far as warm-up goes, as light as you like. But the second that we start the actual, event at 7:20, there will be no more loading or unloading of weights. So as you can see there, I have 300 pounds for the push and 200 for the pull. So once that first heat goes, there will be no messing around with it to warm up. So if you want to warm up, I recommend you getting there early before the actual first heat starts if you want to mess around with the sled weight. But as far as the event goes, you're going to have sled push, warm up, you're going to have some burpee broad jumps, and you're going to have a row. Everything's going to be set up, ready to go. So 3, 2, 1, go at 7:20. I'm going to have the clock running up. I'm going to have it run for 60 minutes. Well, actually, I take that back. I'm going to be having it run for 100 and I'm just going to have it run for 100. So essentially that's going to be 1 hour and 40 minutes. So that's going to put us all the way to the 9 o'clock hour. So obviously people that start at different times will be able to, look at the clock, see where you're at, do some math. Okay. So it's going to be running up, and it's going to run up to 1 hour and 40 minutes. So if you're the 7:20 heat, you warmed up, you're ready to go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. This is a 3/4 HYROX, so I want those runs to be roughly about 70 to 75%, or 80 in this case for our better runners. So you're going to run out the back door, and you are going to run around by autos. Now, if you are running the 800, you're taking a left at autos, and you are running either, straight down. Actually, I take that back. If you're running the 800, run all the way out to the street, hang a left like you're running a typical 1K. Run all the way around like a typical 1K, and instead of going around and through the back door, I'm going to have the front door open, and you're going to be running in through there. So the 600-yard people, those are going to be around autos, and then a quick left around the building, another quick left, and then in the building. Okay, so those are going to be the runs every single time. No matter what you choose that you want to do for this entire event, you need to be at or under 60 minutes. So if that means you cut the runs down to 400 in the later rounds, so be it. I want you guys to finish under 60 minutes. Okay, so that's the run. And the reason I'm not having it just be in and out the back door is because there's just going to be a lot of transitions. And from like a race perspective, I think it's a little more appropriate to have like in and out versus just like one spot for both. So run. Then you're doing a 700 meter ski. Pretty simple. Men and women, same distance. Run. Come back in. Men, you have 4 lengths of a push. So down, back, down, back. Ladies, just down, back, and down. The sled is 300. This is non-negotiable. There will be cones there. You will need to get the end of the sled past the cone. Okay? Just like in a race. Then we're going to do run, and then we're going to do sled pull. Guys, you got 4. Girls, you got 3. It's loaded up to 200, which is actually lighter than the men's open, but it's heavier than the women's open. So kind of right there in the middle. Next run, then we're going to do 150 feet of burpee broad jumps. I'm going to have those set up into sections so you'll be able to keep track, and I'm going to have a board next to it that will allow us to, say, oh, it's 6 down and backs or 7 down and backs, like so on and so on. It'll be there so you can check that out. Once you get done with that burpee broad jump, your last one, go out for another run. Then we're coming back in, hitting a 700 meter row. This is the same for both the men and the women. 700 meter. Then we're doing another run, just like in a race. Then we're coming back in and we're going to be doing farmer's carry. So this is going to be wall to wall. There's the green wall out there. I want all the kettlebells set up outside to the left. So you need to get those set up before you get started. We're going to have lots of 53s out there, lots of 35s. But essentially, you are picking them up and you are walking all the way out to the wall. You're touching it with one of your feet, bop, and then walking back. So touch your foot, walk back, touch the wall you just started from, walk back. So essentially, down, back, down, back. Okay, so 4 total lengths for that farmer's carry. The goal is to go unbroken, but if you put it down, just pick it back up as quickly as you can, okay? Go and do another run. Again, this is where you're going to be challenged. Pretty much that 5th, 6th, and 7th run are very challenging. Getting off the burpees, getting off the row. And then, so this is where you really need to just like double down. Embrace the suck, okay? Embrace the hurt and just go, okay? Don't lose your pace. Don't lose all the effort that you put in. Get back off that run, then we're going to have 200 feet of walking lunge. So my hope is I'm probably going to have that set up out back as well with cones. So we're going to have the sandbags outside and the kettlebells, but the actual burpees will be inside. So the 200-foot lunge, essentially, I'm probably going to have maybe a 50-foot setup, so it's going to be a down, back. I'll let you know. On boards, they're going to be on whiteboards, so once you get to that station, you're going to say, okay, this is how many links I have. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You shouldn't have an issue there, okay? Then back on one more run. So this is your last run. This is where you need to just get in there, get moving, know that you're close to the finish line. Once you're back in, you got 70 wall balls, okay? Now, if you get in and there's literally 1 minute left, you do as many wall balls as you can, okay? I want you to finish, again, under that cap. So you got 70 wall balls. The goal for, 14 for the pounds for the guys, 10 for the gals. Those are the open weights or the mixed doubles weights. So these are pretty basic weights. Definitely need to be able to move those and get your 70 wall balls. If you need to break it into 10s or 15s, whatever you need to do, just keep moving, okay? So let's go over just a couple last things. Show up early. If you want one of those early heats, you need to show up early, okay? Put your name on the board. I'm going to be there at 7. It's going to be open. I want you guys to warm up. Again, this is a non-negotiable warm-up. Hit that run. Hit the sled push, sled pull, burpees in the row. Hydrate. Get yourself ready. Get yourself a plan, okay? So if that means getting a whiteboard, like whatever you need, an abacus, like a count, whatever you need to do to be able to make this happen for you, then that's what you need to do, okay? So other thing I do want to say is our biggest issue or biggest point where we're going to have potentially a bottleneck is going to be on the ski and the 2 sleds. After that, it's simple. The burpees, the row, all that stuff. That's no problem. So it's just going to be that first part, the ski and the 2 sleds. So that's why we have heats. That's why it's a staggered heat. Now, if you are one of those middle heats, let's say that, you're getting back in from the first run and somebody has got 30 meters left on the ski, okay, you just wait wait for them to get out the way, and then get in there. If you need to do some basic math and do subtraction just so you can know your time a little bit better, just keep track of the time that you've spent there just waiting, okay? I don't want somebody just absolutely on top of somebody else waiting for them to get out of the way, okay? But it's going to be pirate rules. So if there's a huge line at the sleds, let's say you get in off that last run, if there's a huge line, go ahead and jump to the next thing, okay? The burpees, all right? Come back to the sleds once they're open, all right? But if you feel like it's something you can like wait in 30 seconds, you want to catch your breath, then hop in behind them, so be it. That's what I want you to do, okay? So there will be a little bit of a bottleneck, but treat this as, hey, this is a warm-up for a couple weeks. You know, I want to see how I'm feeling. You know, given that there will be maybe a little bit of a rest period when you get bottlenecked there, take advantage of it. You know, it might not be the worst thing in the world, okay? But if you want to move and just keep moving, I would suggest moving to the next station, coming back to that once it's available, okay? So, last thoughts. I will be there as not an athlete, but as a facilitator and coach. So I will do my very best to help you with clock management, to help, you know, course management, to kind of let you know where somebody might be at in terms of the sled, this and that. I will be there to help. That's my job, to make sure that you will have the best time that you can and that you will get the best experience that we are able to provide, okay? It will be warm, so hat, sunglasses, you know, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and, you know, prepare appropriately. Sweatbands, all the things you need. Just realize it's going to be this warm, probably maybe 10 degrees warmer, okay, down in New York. So this is good that we have a nice warm day. Those runs, okay, want them to be consistent. The first couple are going to be fast. The middle ones are going to be not so fast. The last couple, you know, we'll see what happens. But I want you guys to be consistent. Treat this as, this is how I'm probably going to race, okay? It's obviously going to be a lot less crowded because there's a handful of us versus the hundreds of people that will be on the course when you are on the course. So just know that this is as close as we can get, okay, in terms of the stuff and the movements, but not so much in terms of, not that you got to body check people while you're down there, but there will be instances where you might have to get aggressive, or dial back and cut behind somebody, okay? So 60-minute cap, show up early. There's all your links. Get a whiteboard. Know that this is going to take the entire time. If you're fast, you might finish in the 50 range, but just know that this is going to be max effort, okay? This is going to be a good determination of where you're at for the next, 2 weeks coming up. We're not changing the weight on those sleds. If it's too heavy, too bad. That means maybe you can cut one of the sled lengths out, but we're not going to touch the weight. Okay, we haven't worked on sleds, which unfortunately I'm sorry that we haven't been able to, but just the way that the dynamic for the classes has been very engine based. This is our day to work on sleds. So you're going to get a good feel for it. Okay, I'm going to have everything set. You guys are going to have an eyeball on things before we get going. But here's the workout. Again, very straightforward. Show up, put your name on the board, be ready to work. I'm going to have an hour and 40 minutes on the clock. So it's just going to be running up. The next class that starts at 9 essentially is doing a very similar workout to this, but it'll be more partner style. If you guys want to run this as a partner today, you don't want to do this solo, that's completely fine. I would recommend possibly doing the longer run though, and splitting the work on the inside, because the work's going to go by quite a bit faster. So no gasping, no bent over. You should be about 80% of your effort, not 90%, okay? I wish you guys the very best. You've done so well up until this point. This is our last big week in terms of like volume and effort. Next week's going to be kind of a taper, scaling back. You might be hitting the bike for a good 30, 40 minutes. Something very just aerobic in nature, maybe zone 2, zone 3 stuff, just to get ready for the following week. Okay, so looking forward to it. I will give it a go on, I think, Saturday. I'm going to try this out. Just make sure everything logistically feels right, looks right. So If you need to speed up all this conversation I had, just hit that ×2 button on YouTube. But if not, thanks for following along. Looking forward to seeing the times that you guys put up, and looking forward to seeing some good effort. Okay, let's be safe, let's be smart, and let's get ready to work, y'all. Let's do it.